Welcome to Europe Up Close. As we approach what feels like a possible return of travel, it is exciting to start to dream and plan our next trips. Rome is an incredible destination due to its long history and the fact that there are tons of things to do in the Eternal City. Rome is so big that it can overwhelm, so even the most devoted sightseer should take some time to kick back and enjoy la dolce vita in a park or a sidewalk café. Today, we will tell you about the top things to see in Rome. Eight, the Colosseum and the Arch of Constantine. As the Eiffel Tower is to Paris, the silhouette of the Flavian Amphitheater is to Rome. The largest structure left to us by Roman antiquity, the Colosseum still provides the model for sports arenas. Present-day football stadium design is clearly based on this oval Roman plan. The building was begun by Vespasian in AD 72, and after his son Titus enlarged it by adding the fourth story, it was inaugurated in the year AD 80 with a series of splendid games. The Colosseum was large enough for theatrical performances, festivals, circuses, or games, which the imperial court and high officials watched from the lowest level, aristocratic Roman families on the second, the populace on the third and fourth. Beside the Colosseum stands the almost equally familiar Arch of Constantine, a triumphal arch erected by the Senate to honor the emperor as liberator of the city and bringer of peace, after his victory in the Battle of the Milvian Bridge in 312. Lines are long and move slowly, so you can save time by joining the Skip the Line, Ancient Rome, and Colosseum half-day walking tour, and have a knowledgeable guide as well. 7. Vatican City. The Vatican is the smallest independent state in the world, with an area of less than half a square kilometer, most of it enclosed by the Vatican walls. Inside are the Vatican Palace and Gardens, St. Peter's Basilica, and St. Peter's Square, an area ruled by the Pope, supreme head of the Roman Catholic Church. This compact space offers a lot of things to see, between its museums and the Great Basilica itself. Inside St. Peter's Basilica is Michelangelo's masterpiece, Pieta, along with statuary and altars by Bernini and others. The unquestioned highlight of the Vatican museums is the Sistine Chapel, whose magnificent frescoed ceiling is Michelangelo's most famous work. In the Vatican Palace are the Raphael Rooms, the Borgia Apartments, the Vatican Library, and a number of museums that include the Picture Gallery, Museum of Secular Art, Etruscan Museum, and others. The collections you can see in these cover everything from papal coaches to 20th century art reflecting religious themes. Ticket lines for the Vatican's top attractions are incredibly long, and you can spend several hours waiting in line. To save time, purchase a Skip the Line Vatican Museums with St. Peter's, Sistine Chapel, and small group upgrade tour in advance. 6. The Pantheon. The Pantheon, the best preserved monument of Roman antiquity, is remarkably intact for its 2,000 years. This is despite the fact that Pope Gregory III removed the gilded bronze roof tiles, and Pope Urban VIII ordered its bronze roof stripped and melted down to cast the canopy over the altar in St. Peter's and Canons for Castel Sant'Angelo. The Pantheon was rebuilt after damage by fire in AD 80, and the resulting brickwork showed the extraordinarily high technical mastery of Roman builders. Its 43-meter dome, the supreme achievement of Roman interior architecture, hangs suspended without visible supports. These are well hidden inside the walls, and its 9-meter central opening is the building's only light source. The harmonious effect of the interior is a result of its proportions. The height is the same as the diameter. Although the first Christian emperors forbade using this pagan temple for worship, in 609, Pope Boniface IV dedicated it to the Virgin and all the Christian martyrs, and since then, it has become the burial place of Italian kings. Victor Emanuele II is the second niche on the right, and other famous Italians, including the painter Raphael. 5. Roman Forum. Walking through the Forum, now in the middle of a throbbing modern city, is like stepping back 2 millennia into the heart of ancient Rome. Although what survives of this center of Roman life and government shows only a small fraction of its original splendor, the standing and fallen columns, its triumphal arches, and remains of its walls still impress, especially when you consider that for centuries, the history of the Forum was the history of the Roman Empire and of the Western world. Roman political and religious life was centered here, along with the courts, markets, and meeting places. After the 7th century, the buildings fell into ruin, and churches and fortresses were built amid the ancient remains. Its stones were quarried for other buildings, and it was not until the 18th and 19th centuries that systematic excavations brought the ancient buildings to light from under a 10-meter layer of earth and rubble. Highlights not to miss are the Temple of Antoninus Pius, the Temple of Castor and Pollux, the Temple of Saturn, the Arch of Septimus Severus, the Curia, the Temple of Vesta, and the Arch of Titus. 4. Trevi Fountain. One of the city's most popular tourist attractions, this 17th century masterpiece has been immortalized in films until it is almost a required visit. Throwing a coin, not 3, into the Trevi Fountain, Fontana di Trevi, is a tradition that is supposed to assure your return to Rome. Rome's largest fountain, Fontana di Trevi, is supplied by an aqueduct originally constructed by Agrippa, the great art patron of the 1st century BC, to bring water to his baths. The fountain was created for Pope Clement XII between 1732 and 1751 by Niccolo Salvi and built against the rear wall of the palace of the Dukes of Poli. It depicts the sea god Oceanus, Neptune, with horses, tritons, and shells. 3. Vittorio Emanuele II Monument. It's ironic that this grandiose monument, considered one of the national symbols of Italy, is rarely admired by Romans, who liken it to a wedding cake or a giant typewriter. Like it or not, the vast neoclassical structure crowns Capitoline Hill, symbolic center of ancient Rome, overlooking the later city across Piazza Venezia. Built between 1885 and 1935, it is a monument to King Vittorio Emanuele II, the first king of the unified Italy, represented here in an equestrian statue. Italy's The Tomb of the Unknown Soldier is here, along with the Museum of the Italian Unification. A lift will take you to the topmost terrace for 360-degree views of Rome. 2. Centro Storico and the Spanish Steps. Take a look at a Rome tourist map, and you'll see no one area so filled with things to do that it's hard to read the street names. This is the Centro Storico, the historic center of Rome, with so many art-filled churches, resplendent palaces, and lively squares that you could spend your whole vacation strolling its ancient streets and lanes. Spend some time just to absorb the neighborhood's atmosphere instead of going from one of its must-see sights to the next. Along with Piazza Navona, the Trevi Mountain, and the Basilica of Santa Maria Maggiore, stop in less well-known churches, such as Santa Maria del Popolo, where you'll find works by Bernini and Caravaggio. Pause at the Spanish Steps, the flight of irregular stairs and landings that lead up to the French church of Tornata dai Monti. The stairs take their name from Piazza di Spagna, the plaza at their base and one of Rome's most typical squares. The stairs have long been a favorite haunt of tourists. The boat-shaped fountain at the foot of the Spanish Steps is known as the Baraccia, and it was created by Pietro Bernini, father of the great Baroque architect Gian Lorenzo Bernini. 1. Piazza Navona. One of Rome's most characteristic Baroque squares, Piazza Navona still has the outline of the Roman stadium built here by Emperor Domitian. It was still used for festivals and horse races during the Middle Ages, and was rebuilt in the Baroque style by Borromini, who also designed the magnificent series of palaces and the Church of St. Agnes on its west side. Its facade, campanile, and dome highlight the way Baroque architecture weaves convex and concave surfaces, gables, windows, columns, and piers into a unified design. In the crypt of St. Agnes and Alessandro Algardi's 1653 The Miracle of St. Agnes and the remains of a Roman mosaic floor, St. Agnes provided a model for Baroque and Rococo churches in Italy and elsewhere. Although Borromini designed the square and its surrounding facades, it was his arch-rival Bernini who created its centerpiece, the beautiful Baroque fountain Fontana dei Fiumi. The spirited fountain represents the 4 rivers then thought to be the largest on each of the known continents, with figures personifying the Nile, Ganges, Danube, and Rio de la Plata around the large basin, each accompanied by plants and animals of their respected regions. Do let us know in the comments which one of them you would like to travel. Thanks for watching.